Hi and welcome. My name is Katie, also known as Meraki, Meraki22. You can find my blog over at www.meraki22.com. And in today's video, we're going to talk about TradeSkillMaster, the add-on for making gold in World of Warcraft. So this is TradeSkillMaster.com. You want to go here first and you'll want to sign yourself up for an account, which is free, of course. Then you can go to the top here, you can find the add-on, overview and download, and the desktop app overview and download. I'm not going to go through this in great detail, but once you've got an account, it's fairly simple and the instructions are all there to talk you through it. You just download the in-game add-on via, they have a curse pack which downloads all the entire suite, because it's divided up into little sections which we'll go through later. I recommend you get the entire suite. It's all terribly useful stuff. So you can click that button, go to Curse and download the entire add-on pack from Curse, and then you go get your desktop application, which is a small application that will stay on your computer and run in the background, which means that you will never ever again have to scan the auction house for prices, and all your prices will be incredibly up to date. I think this updates every hour or something like that, so it's very, very up to date. It means your prices will be top notch, so you want to get that because it's incredibly useful. There's a few other things you can do on this site. There's obviously guides and helplines, and they have links to different people who've done really in-depth TradeSkillMaster guides. If you want to go down that road, you can check those out. Custom prices, it tells you different bit about different formulas and things that you can use if you want to start playing with your formulas that you're using on the site. There's also a group maker if you want to start making your own groups. You can copy things over from Wowhead and add them in there. It's pretty easy to do. You donate, FAQ, suggestions, help, all that good stuff. They have a forum. You can catch up with the guys on Twitter. And then in auctions, you can check on the website the auctions related to all your different crafting professions. You can check the black market AH for your particular server if you have your server set up here. You can also on this website set up notifications, like if there's something you're particularly looking for, say a spectral tiger, you can set up a notification so that if it finds a spectral tiger on your realm's auction house for below your set price, it will send you an email or whatever else you've specified it to do. So you can set up notifications on here as well, which is pretty useful. You can check out the great deals. If you have you can get a like a premium version of TradeSkillMaster. I think it's £15 for 6 months or something like that. 3 months maybe, I'm not sure. You can get a premium version. If you get the premium version, it basically means that you have a button in your game which will automatically pull this list up into a search for you. But if you don't have premium and you don't want to get premium, you could just copy the list from here every day and import it into your game. Then there's top sellers. So basically, you can search for any item, pet or seller in the game, and it's pretty useful, and it'll tell you what they're selling and all that kind of stuff, and how well they sell and how much they sell for in general. So there's lots of information on that website, but even if you don't care about any of that, all you need to do is download the add-on and the desktop application, and then we're gonna go over to Alright, so here we are. Once you have TradeSkillMaster installed, you will get a little icon here on your trade map, on your mini map up here, or wherever it is that you have such things. Mine's here, TradeSkillMaster version 3.2. Left click to open and drag to move. So you can open it up and you get this thing. Now it looks terribly confusing. It's not really. In the first panel here, you've got your information about the add-on. You can read if you want. Your inventory viewer. This is pretty neat because you can search for different items in your inventory. You can search for different groups that you set up. Like if you've set up a group specifically for grey items, you can search for that group and it'll tell you everywhere you have a grey item on what character and where. You can search your characters, you can search your guilds, and you can set the price value. DB Market's probably the best bet because they have recently stopped incorporating WoW Auction because I think it hadn't been updated in ages and stuff like that. It also does this cute thing where it tells you the total value of all of your items. Macro setup. I don't know if you really particularly need to do any of this. This is, by the way guys, as I said, this is the guide for casuals. We're going bare minimum here for efficiency. I set up this bottom one. You want up and down your modifier of choice, and then you hit the button. That means when you're posting, you hold your modifier, you scroll your wheel, everything gets posted in seconds. It's really fast. Alright, so that's the only thing you really want there. Custom price source we're not going to worry about at all. So that's features, all done and dusted. The only thing you really need to do is set up your macro and maybe take a look at your inventory if you're kind of curious. The other thing we're going to do for setup is we're going to look at options. Alright, looks like there's a lot here. It's not too bad, honestly. Module options. In general here, a lot of these we're not going to touch. I'm not going to touch any of these at all. Appearance is just how it looks. You can change your colours. Mine's kind of a grey and greeny colour here. You can change all that if you fancy playing around with it. I think there's even some websites online where you can download and import different themes. Check it out at will. Profiles, you can set up different profiles for your account. If you want to have different characters selling different sets of things for different sets of prices, that's fine. You basically set up a profile, and that is, you know, self-contained. You can copy them, delete them, all that kind of stuff. Account syncing, if you have second accounts, and miscellaneous features. Just I like these because I find them very useful, and I just like, there it is there. Your auction of lovely purple dress has sold for 146 gold. Basically, what this means is auction buys. It tells you, it replaces the previous "you have won an auction of" text with "you have won an auction of." It tells you the stack size, the price you paid, and all that kind of stuff, and it links the item as well. So it's much more useful, much more information in that little pop-up thing. And the auction sales one, like you said, there shows you the item you sold and how much you sold it for. So yeah, it's a lot more useful. You can also make it have a sound. Nobody wants it to make it have a sound. That just makes lots of noise. You can integrate it with your Twitter as well. If you have your Twitter attached to your account, that's what this little, I think it's meant to be an @ thing is. If you click that, it lets you post that straight to Twitter saying, hey look, I just sold this, or I just picked up this. So you can do that if you want, entirely up to you. And that's that. That's literally the general options completely done. Accounting, again, I don't touch any of this, but this is where you can tell it what way you want to format your time and your date value. If you want it to show prices of things per item value or per stack value, you can choose that there. And yeah, you can take a look at this yourself. Display money transfers, if you're transferring it to different accounts and things like that. You can take a look. If you hover over them, a little pop-up comes up telling you what they mean. This is purely personal preference. You don't need any of this. This is not going to change what you're selling or what you're making. This is purely for what you want to be seeing and doing and how you want it to look. So you can take a look at that and choose that as and when you want. That's just your auction DB, your auctioneering. Again, personal preference and sounds and things. Crafting, I don't touch any of this. I just leave that all as it is. Leave that all as it is. Again, it's a lot of sounds and formats for showing you different pieces of information. Default tab that you want your mailing to come up on. I think this is all the default anyway, so I just leave it as it is. Shopping, again, I just leave all those as default. You can play around with them as you want. I did change my sniper options. This is the one bit you do want to pay attention to down here. It's in module operations, shopping. The bottom one is sniper options. Pick yourself a nice sound and then go below vendor sell price. You want that checked. That basically means if anything is posted for below vendor sell price, it will come up in your list so you can buy it, vendor it, money made. And below custom price, basically this is setting the price you want your sniper list to pick up. So mine's set at 30%. So if anything's posted for less than 30% of the database market value, it's going to pop up on my sniper list and I can grab it and repost it for 100% of its market value. Money made, easy peasy. Those are the only options there really that you want to that are terribly important. The rest of this, not so much. Vendoring, again, quick sell settings we're going to go into in another one in detail, but I just put in 250 and 300. So basically, it won't vendor anything that's worth more than 250 gold or that has a destroy value of more than 300 gold, which means if you break it down into enchanting materials, it's worth more than 30 gold. It won't vendor it because it's worth to disenchant. And display total money received. That just has a nice little lump sum once you've emptied your mailbox every morning, and it's just nice to hear that, to see it all add up. Pick your format for your money display. Pick your format for your inventory thing. Again, it's mostly all formats and preferences to do with that. What information you want to show up in your tooltips. This is kind of awesome. TradeSkillMaster has these awesome tooltips. Will one come? Yeah, here you go. Huge tooltips. They're movable though. You can cut this down a lot, and you can have it even bigger than this. This is mine, which is cut down quite a bit, but it tells you lots and lots of information. And you can. This is where this tooltip options place. This is where you pick and choose the information that it tells you. So accounting. This shows how many you've sold. It shows how many you've expired, how many you've cancelled. How the sale rate is how many. The sale rate is the total sold divided by the total sold and the total expired and the total cancelled. So basically it's how many of them sell compared to how many of them you're posting. And show purchase information, so that's how much you purchased it for. So you can see how much you bought it for, so you know how much you need to sell it for to make a profit. Pick and choose what information you want to show up in your tooltips. It's up to you entirely. Display the minimum buyout and display the market value. Then you can choose which of these you want. These are basically all telling you the values. This is telling you, asking you what value you want it to show you. Historical price, region minimum, region market value, region historical, region sale average, region sale rate, display region average daily sold quantity, so that's how many of these sell in your region daily. Different things. So you can pick and choose the global minimal buyout, the global market value, the global historical price, and the global sale average. So you can pick and choose whatever way you want to do your pricing and your information. Whatever's most relevant to you, pick that. I went for region stuff. So region sale average, region sale rate, region daily average sold, and region market value. Auctioning. Show auctioning values in tooltip. That shows the minimum, normal, and maximum prices that you have set up in your thing, set up in your operation in the tooltip. I don't worry about that so much, because if I can see what group it's in, I can tell what operation it is, because I don't have that many. Show crafting cost in tooltip. That one's kind of handy, because if you can see it has a crafting cost, you know it can be crafted, and ergo you probably should be crafting it instead of buying it, because it's probably overpriced. List the materials in tooltip as well. Shows you that if you can be crafted, what it takes to craft and how much it costs to craft. That one as well will show you, so you know if you can be making it, it'll show you how much it costs to make, and you can compare that with how much it's being sold for and see if it might be worth your while making some of those. And show material cost in tooltip, so it's also going to show you what you need and how much that's going to cost you. Shopping. Show the shopping max price. That will show the max price you've set for buying those items in the thing. I don't worry about that, because I have a across the board rate, so I know how much I'm buying things for. So yeah, that is it. That is literally all of the options done and dusted. All of the settings done and dusted. You can go into it in detail. You can go through each and every one of those little checkboxes if you want, and I advise you to do it as and when you get time. Maybe when you get a bit more comfortable with TSM, and just tweak it to get it how you like it, because why not? But for now, I'm going to sign off for this part, and we will get back to you again next time with setting up some basic groups and operations. I hope this was helpful. If it was, let me know. If it wasn't, let me know. And if you'd like me to do anything else, let me know. Thanks again, guys. Bye.